Hi everybody. Every guys, I'm tired, y'all. How y'all doing, everybody? It's been snowing heavy in New York, and so it's been a lot. But welcome to another episode. I hope your day is going well. I hope that no matter what's going on outside, you still find joy because of God, and that He puts His peace in you today, in and through you today, because we all need it. And so today's topic, I think we're just going to go straight into it. I was going to do a quote, but maybe we can. Maybe we can do a quote. Sometimes you think God isn't answering and like you can't see Him. But in the midst of the unknown is where He does His best work.
Yes.
Faith isn't what you see. Is what you don't see, and so keep waiting in the unseen so God can reveal the stage to you. And that was just something that just came literally off the dome. So just say a quote from God. And so yeah, guys, we're just gonna go straight into the topic. The topic of today is unexpected blessings. And do you wanna see what that means to you? Because to me it means something different.
So good morning, guys. Let me start off for those who are listening for the first time. My name is Heather.
Oh yeah, my name is Ashley. See, I forgot about that. It's imperfect.
Today we're talking about unexpected blessings, and God reminded me just a while ago of an incident, not an incident, but something that happened in the past. And long story short, our fridge was acting up, and so I had warranty on it, and I called the company. They sent over a technician. They mailed me 2 boxes. The technician ordered whatever part that was needed. They mailed me 2 boxes. I received the 2 boxes. Called them back again, told them I received the 2 boxes, made another appointment. They sent the same technician. When the technician came, he opened up one of the boxes and he put the part in the fridge. He changed the part, put the part in the fridge. The second box, however, he took the box with him and he didn't put it in the fridge. And so I was so upset, and I called the company and I said, listen, you guys sent me 2 boxes and the technician only opened 1 box, changed the part, but the second box, he didn't open it at all. So I asked them if they could change a technician and send me another technician. They said, no, they can't send me another technician, so forth, whatever. So I said, you know what? Forget it. I don't want him to come back here, because if you guys can't change him, he's stealing. So if you guys can't, now mind you, I'm complaining that this man is stealing. But anyway, I said, if you guys can't change a technician, then I don't want him to come back. And so right after that, little bit after that, God allowed him to send, because at that second visit that he came, he had ordered another part for me. So when I received that 3rd box from the company, so when I called the company to complain about the technician, they asked me, did you receive that 3rd box? And I told them no. I lied. Yes, I lied. And I told them no, I did not receive the 3rd box. Right after that, God allowed the warranty to run out. So here I am with the 3rd box, and I've been asking God, and we've been believing God for certain things and certain blessings and certain favors and certain breakthroughs. And I think it was about maybe a week ago, God reminded me, in other words, before he does whatever I'm asking him for, remember how you lied to that company? Call them. And I wrote it down in my notes. Yeah, he didn't, he wasn't angry about it, but it was a good reminder because I did lie. And so if God is cleansing your heart, he wants to purify your heart. And so I didn't remember that I lied. I didn't remember that incident, but he kind of reminded me. And so that day when he told me to call them, I wrote it in my notes. And I said, okay, God, I'm going to call them later. Because I put a little note. And he said, no, call them now. And kid you not, I called them. And the lady said to me, so I told the lady, I said, oh, I have a part here that you guys have sent to me. This is like maybe 2 years ago. And I said, a little over 2 years. And I said, I have a part that you guys have sent to me. I didn't use the part. And I would like to return. This is what God told me to tell them. I said, I would like to return the part to you. However, I'm asking you guys to pay the shipping and the handling. So she said, okay, hold on. So she came back, spoke to her supervisor. The supervisor said, no, just keep the part. I don't have to return it. Just keep the part. But thank you, God, before she said that to me, she asked me one question, and I know this is how God works. Oh, God. The lady said to me, did you pay any out of pocket for the part? I said, no. I said, no, no. It was all under warranty. I didn't spend any money out of it. Now I'm turning around telling them the truth because God is cleansing me from the lies I used to tell. And it's hard, but I was so happy that I told the truth. So here I am sitting down telling my daughter, God reminded me of this incident, the whole story I just told you guys. And she said, but mommy, what if the guy, and you tell him what you was telling me, what if God was using
what if God was using a guy to bring through a breakthrough, but you were stopping him because you wanted to put justice in your hands? Meaning that I'm not condoning that what the guy was doing right, but when God says that he uses people unexpectedly to bless you, he will use a thief to do it. He will use a prostitute to do it. He did it with Rahab, with Joseph, not Joseph, Joshua's people. When Joshua sent the two. Mm-hmm. Joshua sent the two. Mm-hmm. And he sent the two for the walls of Jericho to go and check out the land. And Rahab had helped them. You would have never thought that you could get help from Rahab. But when God is sending his people, you saw how she transitioned real quick and wanted the blessing. She wanted to get to know their God. Mm-hmm. But it wasn't about the blessing for her. It was wanting to get to know their God. And I think sometimes we miss out on opportunities that look worldly but are really coming from God. And it's an opportunity that he has. And so in a case like that, it was definitely injustice. You have a heart for the injustice, but you cannot have too much of a heart where you want to take the revenge on your own. Mm-hmm. It's when you come into that part where I got to leave the revenge to God, because what if that part that she lied about was the part that was needed for the fridge, so that every day now, for the past few years, she's been having to do the ice at the bottom. We've been having to do the ice at the bottom and take out the ice morning and night. Evening. And
twice a day.
It's morning and evening, and having to take out the ice in it would have just been a fixed problem.
Yes.
But you wanted to handle it in the way that you wanted to handle it, instead of letting God have the vengeance on his own. And it's easier said than done in situations like that. But I think for me, what God was just revealing is, well, I'm in a season where God is saying he's going to use unexpected people.
Yes.
And the blessings is going to come from unexpected sources. Mm-hmm. So that means I need to cleanse my heart from unforgiveness if there's anything lingering. Yes. I need to cleanse my heart from anything that could stop me from seeing what God is doing. Meaning but it's not even just from lying, because Rahab lied too. Yeah, and so it's not about the action. It's about, are you being led by God? Yes. And so he'll clean out the heart for you. It's just you understanding, hey, God, if there's any lingering unforgiveness, let me take it out so that I don't miss it out on what you're doing. Because that also could have been in a moment to evangelize too. Yes. God could have spoke to her and told her. And so there's so many missed moments in that because you handled the situation on your own. Yes. And I think that's why God says leave the vengeance to God, because he can take vengeance and it'll be actually for someone's purpose. It actually will be beneficial to the purpose that he has for that person and others surrounding them, because he sees farther than we do. And so when we're taking it, we see in the moment. He sees beyond that. He sees the generations beyond that one action. And it doesn't mean that the person is not going to pay for the things that they have done. What it means is, yes, they'll pay for it, but God still can use purpose out of it. He can turn what is being done into good. And he wasn't stealing off of her. He was stealing off the company. But you still have that heart of injustice, and that's normal. You don't like injustice. You don't like seeing injustice. But it doesn't mean that you go out and handle it on your own. And I think that's when it's hard, where you're bridging of, I want to trust God in this area, but I can't just see what's happening and pretend like I'm not seeing what's happening. But I have to trust that it's a bridge, and you have to understand you can't be on that, because it's going to keep pulling you. And at some point, you're going to have to reach to a point. And I'm not saying it gets easy. It's going to be multiple times where you find out you're trying it on your own, and then you're like, I'm going to just have you take the revenge. I'm not going to leave it because anytime I did it, it went into the water. It was terrible. And so I'm going to let you do it. So you let go.
It's funny you mentioned how I wanted to handle it myself, and it's true, because in choosing, and this is why we got to be careful of our choices, because in me choosing to handle it myself and lying and say, I don't want the man to come back, and I didn't have the box, me choosing to do that, look, it has cost us so much time, so much money, because like my daughter mentioned, every day in the morning and in the evening, because the ice accumulates at the bottom of the freezer, every morning we're knocking out all that ice, every evening we're knocking out all that ice. So that's a lot of time right there. Whereas if I had just, I don't even want to say mind my business, but just trusted God. I said, God, you see what he's doing, but he's here to fix my fridge. Let me pay attention to what you're doing for me, and you will pay attention to him. Instead of me doing that, what I do now is now we have to now turn around and clean the ice twice a day. Not only that, but it costs us financially. Why I say that is because now I find that we're buying more paper towel, because not only are we cleaning the ice in the morning and cleaning the ice in the evening, but there's times when instead of it forming ice at the bottom of the freezer, sometimes some water would come out. And so we have to put at least 5 paper towels at the bottom of the fridge and to the side. So 3 is in the front of the fridge and 2 is to the side of the fridge and right by the freezer. So if I had just allowed God to do what he was doing back then, we wouldn't be paying for this now. Not only that, it just hit my spirit that before the technician came, God was the one who reminded me, because I said, God, this fridge and freezer is just acting up. He's the one that reminded me I got warranty. I said, oh my God. He said, call them. And when I called them, they said, yeah, you have warranty and so and so and so. And I said, wow. And he's the one that just reminded me that he was the one who reminded me about the warranty. So for me, one of the things that has taught me, the line was bad, but when God gives you a warranty that he's going to work it out, let him work it out his way, because if not, it's going to cost you. It's going to cost you time. It's going to cost you financially.
And not just so, I don't know if you meant warranty, or did you mean when God gives you a word?
No, warranty, because he's the one that reminded me that we have warranty with the company for the fridge.
Oh, so yeah, when God gives you a word, but I think, okay.
The warranty word, the same thing, because he was the one who reminded me of his word.
His word
that's it.
On the warranty.
Yes.
Meaning the warranty only had favor because he put his word on it.
Yes.
So that's the only reason why. But I think also too, so yes, now that we've seen the cost, let's actually see the benefit. Because it wasn't just a sunken cost. Because it built discipline. Yes. It built your ears now and to be able to hear when God is telling you, so you don't miss out on opportunities like that.
Yes.
So the lesson in the loss was actually a lesson of a blessing.
Yes.
That was a true blessing, because God was very aware that you was going to miss that opportunity.
Yes.
But he provided another one where he turned down what you had to do. If you had a different perspective, instead of it seeing, at first you're going to see, it's costing me. I have to do this. I have to do that. I have to do this. I have to do that. Until afterwards, as you continuously go on this journey with God, you'll see, actually, God, you're turning this into teaching me something.
Yes.
You're letting me know something.
What are you teaching me, God?
Yeah. And so I think, but that's why you see, gradually, you didn't magically get up one day and it was like, no, it's years later.
Yes.
Now you're seeing that revelation. And so I say that today to say, like, it could have definitely been at this point building discipline in you, building your ear to hear God. And I think also too, even though now you have to bang the ice and it's costing you paper towel and all of these things, don't miss out by having a false perspective of the cost.
Yes.
Because God still can bring a benefit out the cost.
Yes.
And he could still produce something in you that is still fruitful and fulfilling. And so I lost my train of thought. I was supposed to say something else, but we're just gonna go with that until I remember.
That went off somebody's car alarm.
Yeah, today is just a little of an off day, but it kept me off.
But you
guard.
were just saying that it's not a loss; it's a benefit. That's the way that you were taking it. It's not a loss; it's a benefit. Even though we have to bang the ice twice a day and to use a paper towel, spend more money buying more paper towel. but
it's teaching you to not focus on the missed opportunity when God is providing a new opportunity in it. Because there's seasons where I miss blessings and I thought it was wasted time. No, with God, he's a redeemer of time. Time is never wasted with him. And so I only know that because I hear people say it, but I'm about to see it literally in my own life. It hasn't been in front of me yet, but I'm seeing it in my own life now. And we're all going to witness it, that God is a redeemer of my time that I wasted on my own. If my time is in his hands, then that means he's fully aware of the time I'm going to waste, but he's also fully aware that he already had a plan set to redeem that time because he knew I would transition. He knew my heart would shift to him. And so I say that to say God can shift it and turn it around to make it something different. So yes, you now have to do extra work. But the extra work is building something in you that you didn't have before. Because now you have to rely on God to help you when you're alone having to do the ice. Because beforehand you was able to take matters into your own hands. Now you can't take matters into your own hands. What you going to do? Are you going to trust God, or are you going to do, like, it builds something in you. And I know people don't like doing that, but I think if we shift our perspective on things, and I'm not saying to have false positivity every single time. That's what I don't want this to come out with, because then sometimes you'll miss it. It's a discernment. It means to discern when it's false positivity, and when it's actually God giving you a revelation of what's going on. You have to be able to discern the two, and you can only do that with God. And in this case, it's allowing God to see it's allowing you to see God's revelation of what he is doing in this time, instead of you looking at, I have to do all this work. In the beginning, it will be, I have to do all this work. But as you gradually go towards the end of your journey, it should not be, I still have to do all this work. Your mindset should be shifting. And that's what this journey is. You should see shifts in your mindset. It doesn't matter how small they are. It's as you go on, you should see progress. And if you're seeing stagnancy, that's something of your doing, believe it or not, and not of God. And I really believe we need to shift our perspective, because the devil could trap your mind. And so I know we're tired of hearing like, oh, the devil could do this, the devil could do this, the devil could do that. Yes, he can do many things. It's just a shifting of the reality. He's not really, he's not as powerful as we think he is. You have, the devil is literally under your feet, but his voice is only louder because of you. He uses you against you. So when you're saying it's me versus me, it literally is you against you, because he's using you against you. That's the only way he gains power, is because we give him the power, because he know God's run through us. He is unredeemable. We still have the opportunity of redemption. So God's spirit still lives in us, but he still has to obey. And so because we're still on this earth, we have a chance to be redeemed. Does that make sense? And so with that being said, he's going to use everything he has. So of course he's going to use you against you. Of course he's going to use your deepest, darkest secrets. Of course he's going to use different things about you that you're still grasping with, is to put you in a cage so you never get out. So you will always feel bound and trapped by that thing that he's put in, when it's really a false reality. And perspective. So that's why perspective is everything, because it shifts your reality. What you think about can shift just based on how you think, just based on your outlook on it. And so again, it's not saying to look in false positivity of negative situations. It means to shift the reality by shifting your thought process. And the way of shifting your thought process is shifting your perspective. And so not every time you're going to get it right, but it's going to build. God never called us to be perfect. And I think we need to have that ingrained in our mind. When he said, be like his son Jesus, he never was calling us to be perfect. He was never calling us to be perfect. What he was calling us to do was to be overcomers. We cannot be like somebody if we don't follow. How can I be an overcomer if I'm not following the first overcomer? The first one to do the law of right, because it lives inside of him. And if he's given me his spirit, that means I'm capable of doing it if I just follow. in following, everything comes naturally.
Yes.
You see it now. You follow all of these influencers on social media. You're following the tactics on how to do their makeup. And as you gradually keep doing makeup practice, guess what? Now you're getting even better, or you're at the level at they are of doing makeup, and now you can do your own thing because you followed. We naturally are able to follow. You follow sports. You get an understanding of how the sport works. You may not have no knowledge on it, but the more you watch it and the more you follow the game, you will get an understanding of it. It's the same thing. Nobody is asking you to be perfect at the sport. They're asking you to follow the coach.
Yes.
And so follow the coach. Walk with the coach. Any athlete is not arguing with their coach thinking that they're better. If they really do think they are better, they're going to fall. Because every good one, even if it's a bad coach, they'll still submit. They'll still work separately, but still submit, or they'll do a like whatever the case may be. In certain cases of like those where they still submit to the coach because they know the time is coming up. You know what I'm saying? But if you have a proper coach that really knows what you're doing, you're gonna submit to what the coach is saying. And so when God says to follow. All we have to do is follow. And naturally, everything comes about. We see it in our everyday lives. So this idea of perfection, God was never requiring out of us. And I don't even know how it came about, but it was a false teaching and a false reality of what God was really saying, what God was saying about his son. You are already created in his image and likeness. You were, as humanity, you were already created in his image and likeness. So with that being said, you already have the blessing of the Lord. You just need to go and take up your blessing. When Jesus healed the blind man out of the synagogue, I think he had before the synagogue because he couldn't go in, and Jesus used the dirt and the spit. And the first time he did it, the first time the man saw spiritually, he saw walking trees. And that's not proper because trees should not be walking. They should be standing rooted on the ground. So if you see walking trees and God looks at us as trees, we see rebellion. We see people who are not following God. They're walking on their own, but God still has them alive. Because if you're still a tree and I see you as a tree, you're still alive, but you're not connected to your source. That's all it's saying. So you're still alive, but you don't have your roots. So you'll die out soon if you don't get connected to the source. He saw spiritually because it was people surrounding him. Then the second time God healed him, he saw Israel. He was seeing the state of Israel spiritually before he saw physically. But God had his eyes closed. When he opened it, he saw the spirit. Then he opened it again, he saw the physical of what state Israel was in. That's the same with us. When we follow God, he's going to show you spiritually first. Or your eyes will be closed, so you don't even know what's going on. But when he opens it spiritually. Then he opens it physically. When Jesus was healing, he was showing the spiritual states of how Israel was. The fig tree, showing the spiritual state of Israel. They look fruitful. They are not fruitful. And so there's many Pharisees, including ourselves, which is why you have to follow. We so excited and to have the position.
Be specific. Following God.
Follow God. Follow Jesus, even when it's hard. Because true followers of Jesus, I'm telling you, you could spot out the fake ones automatically. You don't even have to be deep in the journey to see. Literally. You don't have to be deep in the journey. And there's too many vulnerable people. And so it goes back to unexpected blessings because God can use anything, not just anyone. And I think it's like he's teaching us to get out of the mindset of the physical first, because it's the wrong foundation.
And when you talk about the physical, thank you for saying that.
And that's including me. I struggle with that. And he's taking that out of me.
When you talk about the physical, now imagine this. God is using a person to bless you, and you see the person come, and the person comes up to you, wants to bless you because God told them to bless you, but they are dressed in like a tank top and a shorts. And it's not like they got a weave on or a wig on. Their hair just look like they probably just have it in a bun. But to you, that person does not look like they have the money that they're saying that God told me to give you $1 million. So they don't look like $1 million. They don't look not even like more than $1 million. So you're like, nah, I'm not doing that. Not knowing that let me tell you, there's a lot of billionaires, trillionaires, zillionaire. I told God when he makes me a millionaire, I don't want to be a millionaire. I want to be a zillionaire. And a zillionaire, not only monetary value, but with his anointing, with his spirit. So anyway, let me go back to the story and forget about me. So you see this person come up to you and you're thinking, nah, God ain't gonna use somebody like you. And the crazy part is, guys, sometimes that's exactly who God uses. Because there's a lot of people out there that has money, but they don't walk around and show that they have money. So don't judge people by the way they look. Go ahead.
But to your point, just to build on that, two things. God looks at the heart, but I think also too, you said you judge people like God couldn't use this person. But we thought the same thing, that God couldn't use someone like us.
True.
And what is he doing now?
That is true. That is true.
And that's why God does the heart.
Look at God.
Because you are able to see the unexpected when he cleanses out the nastiness of your heart that is not of him.
Yes.
Because what that is prejudging somebody. What that is moving pride and ego because you don't look like how I think you should look.
Yes.
But it's how God thinks he should look.
Yes.
How God thinks she should look.
Yes.
And that's why he goes back to the foundation. Yes. The foundation is literally in Genesis setting. The only reason how we find beauty in the world and beauty of other people is because we have to see them through God's eyes.
Yes.
Because when we start seeing them from their own, we look at the outer.
Yes.
Forgetting that beauty fades. It's the inner. And so when your in is good, trust me, you can see the unexpected because you allow the unexpected to flow through. Because God has cleansed your heart. It don't mean that you allow everybody and their mother like in your space. No, it doesn't mean that. Yes. You still operate with discernment. And because your discernment is high, because you've been building that discernment with God, you can decipher, oh no, this is a phony and this is a real thing.
Yes.
Because God will tell you, you're so in tune with following him.
Yes.
You're so in tune with hearing his ear. Still today, I struggle sometimes with hearing God.
Yes.
I don't think we will ever fully get it perfect.
No.
Because I think that I need to be able to hear God in every aspect of life. And so he don't want me to get used to one way of hearing him when he is a multi-dimensional God. When he is, if we're saying God is as big as he is.
Yes.
Why would God want me to only know him one way?
Yes.
Why would God only want me to know him 1 million ways when he has 500 million more?
He doesn't.
So we'll never get to a point where we'll fully know God's voice. I think people are trying to help you navigate, but you know his voice from the moment he called you and he took you out. You knew his voice because you knew you was in a situation that nobody but God could have took you out of. And then as you go on the journey, you don't know his voice no more. No, don't let the devil fool you. You still know your father's voice. You just got to now know him outside the noise.
Yes.
So now you're learning him a new way.
Yes.
So we never stop learning. We never stop learning. We never stop growing because why? It's a cleansing of the heart.
Yes.
You never want your heart to stop being cleansed.
Yes.
And the world wants to defile it. The world wants to defile it, meaning the devil wants to defile it. And so I always tell God, I said, God, I know the Bible says, this is the devil is in charge of the world, whatever the case may be. I said, no. I said, I don't care what the Bible says. And I know that's probably not the right terminology to say. But I don't care about that part because I know the ultimate truth is that my father created it.
Yes.
So I don't care who is trying to run whatever this is. My father created it. My father still has control. And if demons still tremble at his name, and if my name is in heaven because of my father, guess what that means? If I'm saying thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven, and that is God's prayer, Jesus saying that, tell you that prayer, that means whatever is heaven in heaven that is happening spiritually will happen, can happen on earth.
Yes.
Why? Because my father still controls the earth he created. The devil cannot do anything unless God allows it. And if God allows it, he already had a plan set up for what the devil is trying to brew out.
Yes.
He will never allow something he don't have a plan for. Never. And I'm not saying this has because there's many things. Some of the sexual abuse that I experienced, I still don't have an understanding as to why. But I couldn't focus on that. I couldn't focus on that. It doesn't mean that the pain of it doesn't live sometimes. It doesn't mean that the pain doesn't trigger sometimes. No. But it couldn't be my focus anymore because that was not my identity. And I refused to create an identity out of something that I experienced that will have to live with me long term, but does not need to become me long term. That's not me. It's just something that happened to me. And every time if I have to overcome it, I will do the work to overcome it because that's not who I am. That's not who I am. That was not who I am. And so any of the things that happen in my life are not who I am. And I see God change it. He changed it for the better.
Yes.
And so with that being said, God can do any and everything. And so it's not to minimize what you're going through. It's not to minimize anything of what you're doing. It's just to understand that we have to change our perspective. And sometimes the only way, not even sometimes, the only way that perspective and thought process can be changed is when God enters the heart and cleanses it. Before your attitude can change, he's cleansing the heart. He's cleansing the heart. And that's when you find yourself doing new things because he's cleansed out the heart. So even if you have a pure heart, he still needs to cleanse out certain things in it, because you might have a pure heart, but people stomping over that heart because you're people pleasing, because your heart is so pure that people just come and attack it, and they literally are lusting after your heart because of how pure it is. And now God has to set up boundaries over the heart and a guard over your heart because you didn't have it. That's still a cleansing of the heart. It doesn't mean that he's cleaning out dirt. It means that he's setting up protection over your heart. And so there's always work being done on the heart. And there should always be work being done on the heart, because that's how you don't see the unexpected blessings. And I think the other thing that I was saying is God can use anyone. I don't care if you're a billionaire and you have money. That don't mean that you got God. And that don't mean that you have the inheritance I want. God has taught me to look at riches differently. Riches are not your money value. Because then I'm only valuing you at your net worth. And when you get out of here, I don't care how much worth you was in the world. If you had no sense of worth in God, it don't matter who you are. And so as I'm on this earth, God is allowing me to see the true riches are in when the OBGYN told me you're rich. And at that point, so many people, so many people kept telling me you're rich, you're rich, you're rich. And at this point, I was going there honestly to go talk about birth control.
And you said, no, I don't.
And I told her, because I wanted to get on birth control, because I felt like the person who I was with was trying to trap me. And so that's why I wanted to go and just talk about the options and this and third. And so, because I still want to continue my own thing, I just wanted to do it a little safely. But it wasn't safe because it was God's work. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. I think for me, in that, when she had said you're rich, because she just looked at me and she said you're rich. And then she continued doing what she's doing. I said, no, I'm not rich. And she's like, you're rich. And I'm like, no, I'm not rich yet. And at that time, multiple people kept telling me, you're rich, you're rich, you're rich. You got money, you got money, you got money. And I'm like, no, I'm not rich yet. I will be. And that's what I'm telling her. Then the third time she comes closer to me and she taps my hand. She puts her hand a little bit over my hand. And she looks me in my eyes and she says, you're rich. You're rich spiritually. And I said, thank you. I had no idea fully what it meant, but I thought that it meant that I got God in me. And I was like, oh, okay, good. That's a good thing. Like, that's the only thing that I realized. Afterwards, going down, it's deeper than that. It means that you have God flowing through you. You're rich in the spiritual, like your spiritual inheritance. Let me actually go get the revelation, because it was so profound when I was doing it. Let me see. Rich spiritually. Yes, rich in spirit. She said you're rich in spirit. She didn't say rich spiritually. She said you're rich in spirit. And I always thought they meant that I had money and I just needed to do and all the things. But it means that someone possesses an abundant spiritual quality. Like is someone who possesses abundant spiritual qualities and a deep relationship with God, characterized by humility, faith, and good deeds rather than material wealth. And someone who is poor in spirit is, like they said, they see it as like a positive thing, because it's saying that you're moving like off of humility or whatever. Because it said the biblical teaching emphasized poor in spirit as a blessing, and rich in spirit could seem as negative, meaning like spiritual pride and self-efficiency and this, that, and the third. But in that case, no, she was saying rich in spirit. So I know like they say like poor in spirit, this, and the third, but in that case, rich in spirit meant I had a deep relationship with God. And at that time, I thought God and I were good, but he wanted to go deeper with me. He wanted to go deeper with me, and I kept stopping it. And so I say that to say richness doesn't come in one form. And we got to stop limiting God. If we think he's a big God, he will show riches in many ways.
Yes.
And his true riches that value the most to him is the heart.
Yes.
He don't care how much you're worth here on this earth. The earth can praise you. The earth can love you. The earth can hate you. Listen, they hated him first. He said it. The earth can do whatever they want to do. But we have to start getting a settle in our hearts. The only thing to settle for in our hearts is that we're in a good relationship with God, and that's all that matters to us. And it's not really settling, it's really growing in that understanding. So settling is not even the right word, but it's getting comfortable with that uncomfortable feeling that even if the world hates me, God still loves me. And I remember I was a little girl, and God took me back to this. I remember when I was little, I used to tell my sister, she used to say, I don't like you. Whenever we argued, she used to say, I don't like you. And I said, I'm not in this world for you to like. At this point, I was just defending myself. And I said, I'm not in this world for you to like. And God had brought me back into that mentality. Meaning, if you really think God put me here on this earth for Elizabeth to like me, for Jennifer to like me, for Hector to like me, I'm just saying random names, like Robin to like me. If you really think your specific name, whatever person's name, that you think God put me here on this earth just specifically for you to like me, you don't know God. Because that's not what he's putting me here on this earth for. I'm not here to like. I am here to do his will. Even when I don't understand it, understanding that I may not understand it, but if I'm doing it with him, I'm doing it right. And so it's bigger than me. It's bigger than you. And it's bigger than all those people. And it doesn't mean that I'm better than any of those people. No, I am not better than any single one of them. I got dirt. It's just God cleansed mine. Yeah. And now he's using the dirt. Yes. And now he's using that dirt to build a testimony or testament of his goodness, to show witness of how good he is. That's all it is. I still got dirt. Meaning that I'm not dirty, but dirt meaning that I was created out of the dirt, right? And if we're going in Adam, and I know he took off Adam, we all struggle with something. It don't have to be a big thing. It don't have to be a small thing. It could have been a used to thing. And even in the dirt that I had, even if I don't have dirt now, it don't mean that there's still certain things that I may not be aware of that I still need cleaning off of. You know what I'm saying? But he used someone like me to do his things, to do and trust and build, to do his workings on the earth. And so it's unexpected people. You were once an unexpected blessing to somebody. And now he is bringing unexpected blessings to you. And that can look in many different ways.
Yes. Don't limit it.
Don't limit it. It can be an ex. Yes. It can be and it don't mean bring the person back into your life. That is not what it's saying. It's saying he can use anyone, and when that same person he uses, it can be used for your benefit.
And let's talk about that. Let's just take a.
And he gives a grace. Hold on, he gives a grace so that you don't fall back. It's not a saying like go back to your ex because God could be using an unexpected. No, I'm not saying that.
Let's stick a pin right there. I'm glad that he put that in your spirit, because we're talking about unexpected blessings. But before, the only way we will know if that blessing is an unexpected blessing from God we got to first go to God about it.
Yeah.
We got to first pray about it. So that's a good point. Before we do anything, God, are you trying to use this person to be an unexpected blessing in my life? Bring it back to God first.
Yeah.
Before we even entertain it or open that door.
And it goes by leading, though. It goes by following.
If we're following him.
If you're following, you can discern which ones. But when it gets a little difficult, then you go. I'm not saying like at certain points you can discern because he'll put it in your spirit, meaning that you'll discern them because he'll put it in your spirit. That's not for me. But when it gets a little difficult and he wants you to decipher, God, all right, this don't feel like you, but is this you? You know what I'm saying? And that's not rushing on decisions. I don't care what society tell you. You got like 58 hours. With God, if he tell you got 50, if he tell you got 100 hours.
If
he tell you wait, that's what you better do. I don't care what deadline is coming up. Let the deadline pass. God is still going to work past beyond the deadline. And I only know that in my life because I've seen it. And I'm having faith for what I haven't seen yet too, that I know is going to happen. And so, yeah, that's a good point. Talk to him. Have that communication. But if you're following, it's a natural thing.
Yes.
If you're following him and having that intimacy with him, it's a natural thing. And so when we realize that when God says the works, it doesn't come from striving, meaning that when you're resting in him, it doesn't come from striving, meaning you don't have to do what the earth seems as you doing work and hard work as, meaning that you're grinding, you're striving, you getting to the money, you hustling, you doing all the things. No, with God, you ain't got to do all of that. He'll just let the opportunities come to you. But you hustling and grinding in different ways because these things is just coming at you, but you're going to have to maneuver them with him. And he's built you to do that. And so you're resting in the assurance that if you call me to this, you're going to help me with it. Like you're going to help me with it. I'm capable of doing it because of you.
You were talking about when we follow God, as long as we're following God. And he just put in my spirit that when we are following God, he sends the blessings to follow behind us. We don't have to even go out there and search for it.
You don't got to chase.
We follow him, and he lets the blessings upon blessings upon blessings follow us. So you can never go wrong when you're following God.
No, you don't have to chase nothing. You don't have to, and it doesn't mean on the mentality that you don't do nothing. No, it just means when you following God, you're literally going to be in the proximity of everything he has for you, and that's why you don't have to chase it.
Yes.
It don't mean that you don't have to go after it, but it means that you don't have to chase it because you're in literal proximity. When he ordains and declares something, it don't matter who does what. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. You get what I'm saying? He did it with the Israelites. He promised them the promised land from way back from Abraham time. It happened. Their parents, that first generation, did not see it. They weren't the descendants that was going to see it. But descendants did see it. Abraham's descendants did see it. He didn't say the older generation. He didn't say this specific generation would see it. No, his son Isaac, his generation saw it. Jacob's generation saw it. The Israelites, they saw it. And if they believed, they would have even seen the physical because they saw what God did in Egypt.
Yes.
And they still chose to do other calf, praising of another calf. They literally saw the cloud of God, but was scared to go up to the mountain. God wanted to be intimate with his people, but they were scared to go up to the mountain. So Moses went up. And so I say that to say, God keeps his promises. Just because those that first descendants did not go, didn't mean that other descendants did not go. They didn't go because of their rebellious ways. God told Moses, if he gonna go, he gonna do it his way. Because he was saying he's not gonna go with this rebellious generation. If he goes, he's gonna strike them.
Yes.
And so Moses was telling him, like, no, go this, and the third. And God was saying, if he goes, he's going to do it his way. God already had a plan to do it his way because he knew what was going to happen with Israel. He knew with the Israelites. And so I say that to say, like, they were still on the land. They were still physically on the land. It just was their parents didn't get to go because of their unbelief, because of their ways. And plus two, if we're looking at the descendants, Caleb and Joshua were able to go out of that one. So technically, the descendants did go. God kept his promise. And so it might not always look how we want it. But if we're focused so much on our perspective on things, we're going to lose out on everything.
And we miss out how he's doing it because we're so caught up with how we think it should be done.
Even looking at blessings. Blessings aren't just material things.
Yes.
Even the things of blessings, just looking at blessings. Do you understand that God blesses us after he created us in his image and his likeness? He blesses us. You are blessed. You are blessed to do and move how God desires for you to do and move, of moving in his image and likeness. You are blessed to do that. You are blessed to have the dominion. But before he gives you the dominion, he gives it to you in stages so he can build you to be able to handle dominion over a whole earth.
Yes. You know, that reminds me of one of the, I think it was a Hot Wednesday we were having at church at that time. And I forgot who the pastor was. And he said, you know, we asked God for, it was, what's his name that sang, that one, what's his name?
Travis Green.
Travis Green, yes.
Mr. Travis Green.
Yes, and he was saying how, you know, we ask God for so many things, but do we have the capacity to hold the things that God wants to give us? Do we have that capacity to hold it? And sometimes we don't have the capacity, and that's why God allows us to go through that preparation stage, just like what you were saying. He prepares us for those blessings. And like you were saying, that blessings are not only just monetary or physical. Just waking up in the morning is a blessing. Just having your hands to use is a blessing. Just using your eyes to see is a blessing. You understand? Just God doing anything and everything for us is a blessing. We being able to say, God, thank you for everything that you have done, is doing, and will forever to do for us is a blessing.
And that's why a heart of gratitude is everything, because it allows you to see the small things that we as society and humans view as small are everyday guarantee. It's not guaranteed, these things. Just because we're used to seeing it happen every day doesn't mean it's guaranteed. That's how we build entitlement. That's how we don't thank God for the fact of waking up in the morning, because we feel like it's guaranteed that we'll make up in the morning. But you don't know your tomorrow. You don't know your next minutes. And so it's not to say living in fear. It's to say living in gratitude for every
and
minute.
Living in God.
Every minute.
Not perfectly, but imperfectly.
Yes. And you might start off and you're not grateful for anything of your situation. But then you start off small. I'm grateful I got eyes. And then the devil probably gonna hit you, but your eyes is bulgy. So what? They're beautiful. Who cares?
And I could see.
And I could see better.
Exactly.
The bigger the better. You know how many people was used to say, like, oh, you got big lips, this and the third, and then they was doing the shot glasses to make their lip big, to do it like they was doing lip injections, and then lip injections actually was a bigger thing, because people wanted big lips, that they was saying, oh, your lips is too big, and thin lips was in now. Come on, beforehand, people with natural bodies didn't need to get BBLs, and now all of a sudden everybody and their mother got a fake butt and tits.
But like, we going on topic.
No, it's not on topic. Okay. It's to say the same thing with the parents.
Okay.
A parent in perspective.
Okay. Thank you. So true.
And following those things.
So true.
Stop following what is not of you. That is not of you. Yes. You were perfectly fine with your body.
Yes.
You were perfectly fine with your body before someone told you about it. And this is coming from somebody who has to battle, or who had to battle with insecurity. And God had to strip me of literally everything. My hair looks crazy right now. Over 2 years. Haven't washed my hair.
Able to wash your
I
hair.
haven't rebraided my hair since June 27th, my birthday.
What is that, 2024, right?
2025 of last year, June 27th.
Yes. When we came back from Florida in 24.
No, when we came,
we
it was August. We washed it.
Yes,
it was in August we washed it of 2024. That's the last time. We're in 26. So it's not 2 years. I don't want to make it 2 years. It's a little over a year. Let's not go that far. I don't want to make it 2 years. And then on top of that too, for a while I couldn't even shave my eyebrows and this little peach fuzz. It was growing into a full-on mustache. It looked crazy. And just the other day, God told me I could shave it, because I was the one that was waiting, because I like to do it a specific way. But he told me, no, you could use the razor and shave it. Shaved off my mustache, show a whole nother face. But I had to be comfortable with when my face looks like a wilderness. Am I okay with that? And this was coming from somebody who felt like she needed to go outside and put on makeup to make herself look good, because that's what I needed to get the dark circles at my. I don't care if you see that I'm tired. Yeah, I'm tired, but I'm still moving, right? And I think we just want to portray false realities. And I'm not saying I have anything wrong with makeup, but when the makeup becomes everything that you need to do because it makes you feel good about yourself, you need to take all of that off and strip it. Because I remember when my hair fell out and God let my hair fall out, and I had to regrow it to say I could not cut it off and start from the beginning. It was showing the journey that he was going to take me through in my actual personal life, and he did it first in my hair. And when my hair was falling out, I had patches of bald spots in my head. And when my hair was falling out, it wasn't as long as I wanted it to be, because it was long and then it just was broken off. You had some pieces long, some pieces short. It's all different lengths. Right now, it's still different lengths. And so I had to find beauty in it. And one time before he had me quit the old job, he had me put my hair. It was it was around the time when he was going to have me do it. It was around the time when he was first going to have me quit the job. And he told me beforehand, he told me specific instructions to sit on the floor. He told me to go outside, don't wear no makeup on my head, don't wear no makeup on my face. I couldn't even do my eyebrows at that time. My eyebrows were thinning. At that time, I was doing eyelash extensions way too much. Even my lash chick was like, you need to take a break. When I saw you the first time, you had mad lashes. She said, do you pull them out? I said, yeah. She said, come to me to go do it. I said, I don't want to pay that. I don't want to pay the extra to take it off. But my lashes were gone. So I was literally naked mole rat. Lashes, all you saw was my eyeballs. And I got big eyes. And so all you saw was my eyeballs. And I say that to say, God had to teach me how to love myself. But he was starting that process with me going outside with my hair, not putting on a half wig to, do any. I had to go outside with a little small bun, no makeup on my face. And so I say that to say, it don't matter what the devil tries to hit you. You got to get to a point where you find that beauty. And I could have only done that if God had did it.
Now, I'm glad you mentioned that, because that reminded me of certain things.
And that was an unexpected blessing, because I found beauty in me while many, if you saw it, I would have never felt that I was beautiful. And that in itself was an unexpected blessing, to find beauty in every stage of my life.
So what it reminded me of is how when we go through things, God is just using it as a form of preparation. So you just mentioned that when you went to the old job, you didn't have the makeup on. God didn't want you to wear the makeup. That was preparation for now. And the reason why I'm saying that was preparation for now, because you and I haven't washed our hair. And that is God's instructions, not us. God's instructions in what, like you said, over a year now.
Yeah.
We haven't washed it. And not only haven't washed it, but the braids that we did over a year.
No, the braids are a couple months. Over a year is the shaving. We didn't even talk about that, y'all. It's a real wilderness going on in the body, I'm telling you.
Wait. So we haven't washed our hair in over a year.
We haven't washed our hair in over a year.
But the braids now.
The braids is a couple months. So that was from June 27, 2020. For me, it was June 27, 2025. So for me, it was last year. Okay, you was able to rebraid it in August. So you had a quicker time. So we're looking at months.
So the braid is standing there in our hair. So let me get back to the point. Thank you. So the point I'm trying to make is, if you didn't go through that, you wouldn't have been able to handle this season of not being able to wash your hair, or even re-braid your hair. Pull out the braids that you have now and re-braid your hair. And what God just let me remember is he also had me in a season at my old job where every single day it felt weird. I'm not gonna lie to you. In the beginning it felt weird, because I remember things got so hard that I couldn't even afford to take my clothes to the cleaners to wash it. And at that time it was 10 pieces for, what was it, 10 pieces for, I forgot how much it was, but I forgot how much it cost, but I couldn't afford it, put it like that. And things got so hard back then that I couldn't afford it. And guess what happened? God told me, wear the same clothes to work every single day. And I'll never forget, I always wore black. Because, if you wear black not that somebody might not remember, but I always felt like, let me just wear black. And anyway, every single day, when I'm talking about every single day, I'm talking about Monday to Friday, I had on the same pants, the same shirt, different socks sometimes, but it was the same pants and it's the same shirt every single day. And let me tell you, my coworkers used to look like, gosh, she ain't got no clothes in her closet. And I used to come home and say, God, when I go in my closet to get my t-shirt or something, I used to say, God, if they only see the clothes you have given me, but I'm following your instructions.
I had a washing machine. I did the same thing. I said, why am I dressing up?
Wearing the same clothes every day. And I tell you that to say that it's weird, because at that time when I first started out, it felt weird and funny to me. But as time went on and I was wearing the same clothes every single day to work, it became easier for me to do laundry. Because all I had was one shirt, one pants for the whole entire 5 days. Not only that, if God didn't put me through that season of wearing the same clothes every day, it would be hard for me now to sit here and say, yeah, our hair hasn't been washed over a year.
But also wear the same clothes down to the shoes.
Yes.
Where the lady even was able to tell you she noticed you because of the shoe.
Yes. I'll never forget. You right about that. Let me tell you, I was outside. And I was going to the supermarket because God sent me to the supermarket.
And now you have a specific clothes that you need to wear when he takes you to your blessings.
It's so true.
And it's the same clothes that's been sitting and waiting.
But listen, let me tell them the joke about the sneakers. And I was passing the laundromat, and I thought I saw the lady that I know. But, you know, I didn't want her to see me because I think I was on the phone for a second. I was talking to God. Because there are times, let me tell you, I pick my phone up, I turn the volume off, and I'm pretending like I'm on the phone, but I'm talking to God. So I can't remember which one it was. But all I know is I'm walking past the laundromat. And a little past I passed the laundromat, I heard somebody say, hey. And I turned around, I said, dang, God, that must be the lady. And I said, hey. And she said, I'm doing my laundry. I said, oh, okay. And she said, I wasn't sure if it was you, you know. You know them West Indian people just like me, they fast, you see. She said, I wasn't sure if it was you, you know. I said, yeah. The lady said, I wasn't sure if it was you, but it's the sneakers. I saw it. That's how I knew it was you. Yes, I was wearing the same sneakers every day. Why? Because God told me to wear the same sneakers every day. And the funny thing about it is, just like my daughter just said, all that time he was preparing me for such a time as this. Because even now, he told me, when on that day, he has given me that specific clothes that I need to wear on that day. So that was all a preparation. So I'm telling you all this long story, and we're telling you all this long story to say that before the unexpected blessings come, God is talking to you certain times to say, do this, do that, do that. And you've got to be able to hear him, because it's a part of your preparation. It doesn't have to make sense to you, but it makes sense to you, to him. And what did God tell you to tell us? He said we don't have to understand.
No, he said it's not, in the beginning of this journey, he said it's not for us to understand. Yes. It's for us to obey.
Yes.
And at first, I thought that was for another party. And I was like, no, this is a universal message. That he had it as a universal message. And so, yeah, I say that to say, we're going to start wrapping up.
Yes.
But I say that to say, I wanted to come back because I was talking in the first episode about Todd Galbraith. And I said Mr. Todd Garrett. I'm so sorry, Mr. Todd Garrett. I meant Mr. Todd Galbraith. And I still don't know if I'm saying it right. I'm trying. I'm sorry. But I say that to say, in Lord, you are good. He starts off. He's talking about, he was looking at the things he had to do, and it was like it was heavy. He was talking about heaviness. I think he was saying that the bills he had to pay, and he was just sitting on his kitchen.
Yes.
And he was looking, and he said the first thing that came was, Lord, you are good.
Yes.
You've been so good. And I say that to say that's unexpected.
Yes.
You're looking at all the things that you have owed, all the things that you have to do, or the people that you think you owe. Because with God, you don't owe nobody. In this season, at least he tells us that. And I think that helps. But he's looking at all the things that he has in front of him that's physically trying to put pressure on him. And the only thing that comes out his heart is a heart of gratitude and praise to God. And so when you're having struggles and you're going through that, look at that song and really listen to what is being said and sit in that.
Yes.
So you can help build that heart of gratitude.
Yes.
If you have to listen to that every single day,
Yes.
if you have to listen to that every single second just to get you through, do it. Because there's some songs that God has us sitting on right now in this current season where we can only hear one song all day. Can't listen to nothing else.
We got to do an episode of that when God tells us to. Yes, that one song.
Maybe I could fit in obedience, but I think in that, sit down and listen to that song and understand what he's really saying.
Yes.
He's sitting down. He's looking at all the things. This is where he talks about his daughter. She was going through something in COVID. He said, remember the history.
Yes.
And because of him remembering the history, he probably was able to say, Lord, you are good. Or it was just his heart posture.
Yes.
But it had to be a built heart posture. It had to be something inside that God had placed for him to sit down and think of, instead of all the physical that was in front of him, he's thinking of his God and his Father and how good his daddy is. Like, come on now. And so it builds. And that's why I'm trying to tell you, you can build it. Sit down and listen to that song. It'll change your whole perspective. You're looking at all the physical. And in that moment, all his heart could have spoke on is how good God is.
And it's funny you said, sit down and listen to that song. And my head hit the Bible verse. And I was like, what Bible verse I got? And in the Bible, it says something about let everything that has breath praise the Lord. And it doesn't matter. It didn't say let everything that has breath and is not worried. Yeah, sorry, a phone call came through. So
I remember we doing this on our phone.
Yeah.
This is our center.
Yeah, so the Bible verse God brought me back is to let everything that has breath praise the Lord. And as we wrap it up, we just want to remind you that no matter what you're going through, as long as you have breath, give God thanks.
And it's an unexpected blessing.
Yes.
It depends on perspective.
Yes.
You just sitting down, looking at all the physical.
Yes.
You will receive a blessing.
Yes.
Of having a new perspective. You will receive a blessing of having a heart of gratitude.
Yes.
When your heart was hurting.
Yes.
You will receive a blessing of you being heartbroken and listening and hearing Psalm 35 even when you don't want to hear it. Because there were times that God was telling me that God is close to brokenhearted and I didn't want to hear it because I just felt so crushed and brokenhearted. But he says God is close to brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit.
Yes.
I heard him saying it. And I didn't want to hear it until after he told me. He said, you don't run away from me. When things get hard, you don't run away from me. You run towards me. And I said, wow. So the next time.
Repeat that again. So just
when things get hard, he told me, he said, when things get hard, you don't run away from me. You run towards me. And he said, it's so calm and stern, but it was calm and lovingly, like a father's love. And I said, wow. And I knew the next test was going to come. And I said, you know what? When that next test come, I didn't know when it was. But in that next test, he knew I would be prepared to tell him that same verse. And it built my spirit. And so I say that to say I got unexpectedly blessed just from running away. And so I
running to him.
No, from running away the first
running
time.
Away. Yes.
And it was an unexpected blessing of now when my heart is feeling broken and I'm feeling crushed in spirit. I know the Lord is close to the brokenhearted and those who's crushed in spirit. Because I experienced when my heart was broken. And I experienced when I felt like my spirit was crushed. And I experienced that he revived it. And he brought it back and built it up. Not in a matter of days. But in that same moment around that time. And so I say that to say unexpected blessings. It can come in many different ways, but we have to just change our perspective. We have to change the way we view things. And that comes with allowing God to do his working in our hearts. And so it's a journey. It's a process. Not everything happens in that moment. Not everything happens in minutes. Not everything happens in hours. It can, but not everything does. And I think, are we willing to go through his process in order to get there?
And as we go through his process, remember, you're not going to live it perfectly, but we are all going to live it imperfectly as we serve a perfect God and get to know a perfect God.
Yeah, in servitude, serving him and following him, he'll teach us how to do everything. We don't have to figure it out on our own.
So we're going to pray out. So God, we come to you. Thank you for this episode. Thank you for the people that are blessed from this, including us. Because one of the things that you taught us is when we are talking and encouraging someone, we are encouraging ourselves also. And God, we thank you for this word that you have given us today. May it bless someone, Father God. May they get to know you, not us, but get to know you. Because God, with you, that's the only way we're going to learn how to live life. So God, we thank you. May you allow them and all of us to have a great day, a blessed day, knowing that as you go ahead of us and we learn how to follow you, we will not go wrong. So we thank you, Father God, that today's word was, dear God, your word is a lamp unto our feet and a light unto our path. So we will continue to follow you because we will not go wrong. We give you praise, we give you glory, and we give you honor because you are God. We love you with all of our hearts. In Jesus' name,
Amen.
amen.
Bye, y'all.